Hey everybody, welcome back to Keyless Entry, and this is my first time visiting a Lucid Studio. And I'm here in Manhattan, and of course, we all know the Lucid Air, of course, and that actually might be the car that I'm thinking about getting for my next one. But the biggest hit, and of course the biggest announcement people are talking about is of course the Gravity. So we're gonna take a few minutes to look at both cars while I'm here, because you know what? They said I can. I can tell you right now, my first impressions of the Gravity, just looking at the front of it, right? So we look at the front end, and distinctive is what I would always call this. Is very unique. The ambient lighting as far as the daytime running lights, and of course the Lucid logo being illuminated, just stands out as a premier look. Of course, up front you've got your radar sensors and your cameras. And you do have a little bit of an air intake down here, and I believe it is active shutters down here as well. And then coming around to the sides of the car, you have, I believe these are 24-inch wheels, if I'm correct. 22s, not 24-inch. 22-inch wheels, and they're on Pirelli tires, and these are EV-rated tires, so they're not gonna burn as fast as if it was on something else. You do have that surround vision camera, of course, cameras in the mirror, cameras in the B pillar here, so you get that really good surround view. And then coming to the back of the car, of course, this is where you would see your charger, and of course you have your rear. Once again, very Lucid. This is a brand that just stands out as, hey, you've got a really good distinctive rear tail light LED. Let's see if we can open this up. Now this is a 3-row passenger vehicle, of course, so you can see that you've got your rear seats are laid up, and if I remember correctly, we can let those down fairly easy. Oops. Did I do that right? There we go. So that'll lay down pretty easy. I just did it wrong the first time. And so you can definitely see how much room you've got back here. So this rear seat is actually decent for an adult, probably around 6 feet or lower. Then you've got some rear cup holders in here. You also have your rear outlets. Of course, there's your power seats to remove that on its own. I just did it manually. And of course, you do have your rear outlet back here for power. LED lights. Under here, you've got your large storage compartment down there. So you do have plenty of room. I love the fact that you do have this nice stainless steel rear bumper cover here that allows you to kind of have a really good low lift, so I can pick up luggage fairly easy, because it's right about just a little bit higher than my knee. So for most people, that loading height is going to be much easier to get used to. Back here in the back, you can also see, a lot of times people don't realize this, but this is mandated by law. So whenever that rear lift gates up, because all the lights are on the hood, we have to make sure we have emergency lights that can be seen here and here. So you have that ability, one single button to close it. So very simple, easy. This is the Grand Touring model. So let's look at the back seat first, and we're gonna just kind of glance in and look at the ambient lighting, of course, from the door panel. You've got it coming across, really nice textured, almost what is that, a other material here. And then of course you've got your real wood trim, your emergency handle, your door handle that kind of pulls to open and close, cup holders in the door, your middle bench seat, and I do believe this can be optioned with captain seats as well. And of course you have a rear panel back here that's really nice for climate control, as well as heated and ventilated seats. And this is a really beautiful interior, and the seats leather material is very soft material just by touch of the hand. So getting in here, and we're going to get into the front cockpit in just a second, but you can just look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful cockpit. I think one of the best in the business when it comes to the looks. The Alcantara suede interior up here as far as the headliner, and even the ambient lighting strip. This is something I don't see the other cars do. It's very unique. I like that a lot. And of course you have this massive panel roof that is unique because it extends all the way back to the third row with a mid bar here, because the front two passengers have their own tinted area, which is just an awesome feat. Back here you have, let's see, USB-C port here for charging, and you can pull this out like so, and there's my little table that I can actually sit up here and type on a laptop if I wanted to. Bring that back down, close that back. Of course the lower floor here is completely flat. There's no reason why it should be. Other than that, you've got your vent ports here on the middle side, so you actually have really good airflow. I love it when the vents are on the pillar versus being just in the center, and of course it got both, so now you've got really good airflow. And of course in the rear there's vents back there as well. Now let's get into the real meat and potatoes, and let's look at one more thing outside. And of course this is one of the best front trunks that we've seen. And just look at that. Not only is it a trunk, but this is a perfect place for you to sit back and just have a really good time watching the stars or a drive-in movie. You never know what you're doing. But, and if you find a place that does drive-in movies, please let me know, because I would love to go by and see one. Anyway, front outlets there up front. And of course, the way this seat is just designed, you've got a really good, just padded insert. Now I do believe this can fold up out of the way when not being used. Of course you can see it's tethered back, so you can actually put that away when you're not using it, and it turns into and stays a dedicated trunk or a front trunk. And you got some bag hooks here to keep your groceries or every kind of bag from sliding around up front. My biggest concern with having a front trunk has always been, am I going to accidentally, you know, have something valuable up here I put up here and it slides around too much? I like the insert because it's kind of a rubberized material at the bottom, so it doesn't feel like it's going to slide. That's a really good plus. So we'll fold this back up here. Whoops. All right. So let's take a look inside the driver's seat, because I can tell you that's what I really, really love to look at. Now you can see there's frameless windows here. This is the nice thing about it. You don't have that frame that you have to deal with. So whenever you're entering and exiting the car, and something I'm not sure you can see, but there are double paned glass here, and almost triple pane looks like, because there's an insert between the two panes of glass. So that will definitely reduce and increase the overall quietness of the ride inside. Got your front windows here. Of course, like I said, ambient lighting, this wonderful soft texture here. And then this is another big plus I love about the seats. They are multiple adjustable with lumbar support as well. So this is by far the best instrument display I think I've seen, other than probably the Cadillac Escalade IQ, because that thing's just the one big massive panel. I think this is done in better taste. The steering wheel, being like that squircle design, has a very unique design. I think it's done well. I like it. Some people may not because of the way it's designed, but it does have the ability to adjust itself up and down, and all that's on the controls. You have your steering wheel controls on both sides. You have your locks. You have your audio control for your voice assistant. You also have your controls for media, and of course these are like a four-way jog dial to kind of navigate around. Inside here on the panels, you've got everything for your defroster, windshield wipers, your light controls here on the left-hand side, and then over here in the middle, of course, you got your center screen display, which will display what you're going to see from that point. And then of course you have everything like your navigation. That actually is a two-stage, so you can have it as a single implementation up here, showing you like where you're at, and of course your real-time navigation shows up on the bottom screen, and you can adjust your volume here. You got your fan temperature for your climate control, and of course you also have your temperature up and down for both driver and passenger on this side. Clicking back to the home screen, we're going to go here. And now you can see when I hit home, it takes me to this side. I can set up my home link for the mirror if I wanted to, but I can also go to the vehicle settings, look at things like my trip. I can look at my driver dynamics, exterior lighting, head-up display, Dream Drive, which of course is part of your cruise control. And this is with this primary sensor. You can actually see it in the camera. Those little LED lights are kind of optical lights. I'm probably picking back up from the camera because they're designed for infrared, so you can't really see them by your natural eyes, but the camera can see it. Connectivity with Wi-Fi, any of the other general settings, all set up here. And this is a very fluid and smooth screen and system. And that's one of the things that a lot of people want, is they want something that's easy and simple to use. Of course, all your other software, fan, heated seats, and ventilated seats. If I go in here, I can control those. This takes me back to the vehicle side. And now I have my main front panel. Up top, of course, these tiles I can adjust and customize what I want to see up here. And if I have Apple CarPlay set up, it will show up here. And then this would still be your primary settings for things like your music and so on. So if I was to go to music, this is what it looks like right now. Of course, once it's set up, you would see all the other radio stations. And then navigation, here's my climate control. So very easy for you to kind of navigate everything around. Up here you have it's a frameless mirror, but it has like a little bit of border, but it's still a very frameless mirror. Front facing camera kind of help with driver attentiveness and some other analytics that they do internally. And as I can tell you before, you can kind of see that this is a glass roof, and this is your visor that comes down, and it does have the magnetic mirror flap to close it, and this does come out and it does extend. So that's the good thing about the driver's side, and I believe the passenger is identical. And then of course you have your LED reading lights and your lights for turning on the lights when you're entering and exiting the car. This also does have a head-up display. You can kind of see the HUD spot right there, which is designed to kind of keep you set up for keeping your eyes directly ahead whenever you're driving. So seats are excellent and comfortable here. Down here in the middle, we've got cup holders. They are a little bit on the small side, so maybe not a large cup is going to fit, but you may not want to put too big of a cup in here anyway. A little bit of a coin holder, a storage spot right here. Same thing here for your wireless chargers, which is right on this side. And I don't think this particular model has the dual charging, but I think it will support it with other models. And then you've got a little bit of a bend down here in the bottom on that side. So excellent comfort. The seats give you a lot of side bolstering, but like I said, because it's customizable, you can easily adjust those bolstering within the seat itself. So that's the Lucid Gravity, and I'm going to tell you, it's one that I would probably say, if the second model comes out, which is going to be the one that starts around 80, that might actually be on my list, because I do like the comfort size of this. However,